Hey, good evening, everyone. This is a post GFest 25 commentary and summary on my part. Very strong GFest with the guests with Kenpachiro Satsuma, Megumi Odaka, and Kaizo Murase, and I wanted to take advantage of that and bring stuff that I wanted to have them sign. Because the last time I met Satsuma was more than 20 years ago when he was here in Manhattan for G-Con 97. So I wanted to maximize my time there and get stuff that I wanted signed. So I spent a whole bunch of money on autograph tickets, but I think it was worthwhile. So what I have here in front of me isn't necessarily what I bought at G-Fest. There's three items in this photo that I bought at G-Fest, or rather I should say three items in this video right here, in this shot that I bought at G-Fest. The rest I brought from home, so it was a real pain in the ass, but it was a combination of full figures and tails from the X Plus and tailless X Plus. But I think the overall take-home rewards were more than worth it. So just wanted to do a quick overview of what I got signed, because I think it's super cool that they were all there, and let's take a look. So the first thing I wanted to take a look at is this book by about Kaizo Murase, the suit maker for the Showa Godzilla films, many of the Showa Godzilla films. He's the last living suit maker who was involved in that golden era of Toho. And if you don't have the book, it covers a lot of suit right there. He made the Titanosaurus suit from Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. He made the Mothra puppet, or the Mothra model for Godzilla versus Mothra. Very cool book. If you don't have it, definitely recommend to pick up. It's not really an issue of not being able to read the Japanese, because most of the book is photographs. And anyway, I had him sign it in this nice gold ink with his signature. And the title of the book, if you don't know, is Monster Maker Kaizo Murase Treasured Kaiju Photo Book. And I think it was definitely clutch to have something like this. Kind of signed by the subject of the book, because throughout the convention he kept being it was in the forefront of his mind that he was the last person alive from this era of filmmaking in terms of the technical know-how of these things were created, and his limited time here, he kept being aware of that when he spoke. So wanted to get as much presence from the guy while he was there at the convention. So to that end, he also designed my favorite, or he also made the suit, or contributed to making the suit for my favorite non-Godzilla kaiju, which is King Ghidorah. So right here we have the Giga Brain King Ghidorah. Let's see if I can get this into the shot. Had him sign the wing, because I brought the wing to G-Fest. I couldn't really bring the whole figure because that would have been too much of a challenge. Continuing on with the Kaizo Murase stuff, I had him sign my copy of the script of Terror of Mechagodzilla. Sorry, the pictures earlier from Titanosaurus were from Terror of Mechagodzilla. So I have him signed my copy of the script. This is an original script from the 1975 movie. Sorry, the 1974 movie. This is revision 3. So I have the suit maker signature there. So that's really cool. The other item that I asked him to sign was a product, or a comic book, from my favorite Godzilla movie of all time, which is Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. And this is basically a children's comic book that came out at the exact same time as the movie back in 1964. Nice old find. So I had him sign the inside front cover where there's the promotional poster art where the 62 Godzilla is confronting King Ghidorah in front of the, I forget the name of the castle there, but it's a relatively famous castle. So I have his signature there. Other things I had him sign is this X Plus Titanosaurus. Again, I didn't bring the entire figure, just the tail, and he has a tiny little signature right there in black, unlike the styles of Kenpachiro Satsuma, who has a really nice large signature on the pieces. And so the other thing, the last thing I had him sign, I have to reach back here, is the Marmot Gallery, Black Gallery King Ghidorah with a nice gold signature on the neck. So he actually made the necks for King Ghidorah. He helped on the rest of the suit, but the necks are his creation specifically. So I kind of wanted to homage that on the Black Gallery with the gold ink of his signature, calling back the gold coloring of King Ghidorah. Moving on to Kenpachiro Satsuma and Megumi Odaka, which is where I spend a good portion of the signature tickets. So this is a script for Godzilla vs. Destroyer, which I already had signed earlier this year by Shinichi Wakasa. I'm going to butcher his name. Shinji Nishikawa. And at G-Fest, I got Odaka and Satsuma to sign it. So that's really, really nice. One of my favorite Heisei movies. Got the same deal for this script for Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. Went Satsuma's signature on the right-hand side. And I like how she calls it Miki Segusa. This is Megumi Odaka's signature, and she dates it here. You can see that Shinji Nishikawa had dated it here when I went to Monsterpalooza earlier. So that's really cool. They, in particular, Odaka was really, really happy to see this script. It was actually used in the movie for whatever purposes, I'm not really sure. But she was excited to see this and kept saying something to herself. Maybe she was recollecting memories on the set, I'm not sure. But that was definitely something cool to see. So Satsuma is also, before he got the job as the Heisei actor, the Heisei Godzilla suit actor, his first job as a Toho suit actor was actually for Hedorah. And so right here is the M1, kind of a gigantic Hedorah from Wonderfest, which I had Satsuma sign on the bottom of the foot. So that's pretty nice. And moving on to the X Plus, these I removed the tail and had him sign the foot and the remaining portion of the figure that came with the body. Satsuma played Gigon, so I removed the tail on the X Plus Gigon and had him sign that piece, so I didn't have to bring the whole body across. And my favorite Heisei Godzilla design, Godzilla 1991. The verdict is out on whether this this looks funny or not, because he signed the torso and then went down into Godzilla's kind of personal area. And he also signed the right foot, so that's cool. Here is a script for a movie that never actually got made, but eventually will get made into Godzilla vs. Gigon. So he played Gigon. So I wanted his signature on this. Again, this is a used script, so pretty old. This is Earth Defense Directive Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, which they would revise multiple times to become Godzilla versus Gigan. Speaking of Gigan, another Gigan, I had the Pilot Ace Superfest or Wonderfest, or whatever it is. I had him sign the claw. I wanted it signed in gold to kind of match the gold color spray on his torso, but I was just, I was just so like overwhelmed by the fact that, I actually finally got to meet this guy more than 20 years after the fact, that I totally forgot any color coordination strategy that I may have had. They totally went out the window. The X Plus Hedera 30 centimeter. This one's a little funny because I got this done yesterday on Sunday, towards the end of the convention. The ink on his markers was starting to run out. So originally I had asked him to sign it in silver. His silver started to give out, then he started to sign it in gold. His gold started to give out, so I gave him the gold marker that I had on hand to finish the rest of the gold. So then he kept saying mix, mix, mix. So his signature is a mix of silver on gold on this piece. So the next thing is the Bandai Kawakita memorial figure, or Goodbye Kawakita figure. I brought this one from home, but at G-Fest there was a little table all the way to the left-hand corner once you entered, where Mineko Kawakita was selling stuff. It's from I can't remember the name of the company, but it's Koichi Kawakita's company, and I was shocked that no one really announced that his daughter was going to be there. And so I asked her to sign the tag, so that's her name, because, this figure is commemorating her father. And I also got Satsuma to sign it right next to hers. But, I was just very surprised that nobody really formally announced that she was a presence in the dealer's room and she was selling stuff commemorating her father. So it was a little bit strange. But I'm glad that I got this, particularly because this figure commemorates the passing of, the Heisei director. And, I just wanted her to sign it to feel like, that she was being recognized, so to speak. But yeah, so that's the Kawakita memorial figure. And last but not least is one of the Marmot exclusives for G-Fest, or the G-Fest exclusive Marmots. This is the glow-in-the-dark Rose Biolante. I had Megumi Odaka sign it, where she has her name to a manual. That's me, and then her signature and the date of G-Fest. So, tons of items that I got signed. I never know when I'll be able to make another one of these or when these guests will come. So I wanted to maximize my visit there and get stuff that I thought was key to my collection, or not even that, just like things that I wanted to get signed from my collection that I thought would make sense for have them to sign. Stuff like the scripts, stuff like the Kawakita Goodbye Kawakita memorial figure, and the glow in the dark Godzilla head, which I had to move away because of a recording error. Hold on one second, I'll get it. And we're back. And this one is last, but definitely not least. This is the M1 Biogoji 1/1 scale head. And by 1/1 scale, it means 1/1 scale to the suit. Obviously, not 1/1 scale to Godzilla himself. But yeah, so since this is 1/1 scale to the head, to the suit's head, sorry, I wanted to get Satsuma to sign it, and because it's glow in the dark and I don't really have the skill to assemble or paint model kits yet, this allows me to try my hand at assembling it and not have to paint it because it is glow in the dark, or I would only paint certain areas. It's really, really cool. So at night or in a dark space, I've already tested it out a few times. The glow in the dark will shine through, and then Satsuma's signature will come and illuminate against the backdrop. So there's a side of the head. I have the jaw and the other parts. Got this from the M1 table. Really cool people, Yuji and Michi. So that about wraps up what I got signed at G Fest. It's kind of like my autograph haul. Definitely had a really fun experience. And I look forward to going back again next year, hopefully. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.